Welcome to the channel, everyone. BLN437, and today I am going to go over Game 5 of the World Series between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And man, what a great Game 5. This Game 5 might be one of the greatest World Series games ever played. When all is said and done, depending if this game goes 6 or 7 series, this might be the greatest World Series we've ever seen. And I mean, wow. I mean, really just wow. The back and forth action. I mean, the Dodgers having a 4-1 lead with Clayton Kershaw on the mound, the guy that's supposed to be, the best pitcher of this generation, cementing his legacy. Wasn't able to do it. Correa, I believe, started the rally. Then you have Gurriel, who hit that home run to tie the game. I mean, oh man, back and forth action. That's all you can say about this game. There's just so much that was going on. Like Springer misplaying that ball in center field and then picking himself up right back in that bottom of the 8th inning to tie the game, and then the Astros go on a huge run there, and then the Dodgers come back and they tie the game in the 9th. I mean, a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened. But let's get with the Dodgers here for a second, because I think this is a key moment, more so than Kershaw not doing what he needed to do, and I'll get to Kershaw in a minute. Game 2 of the World Series was a huge game for the Dodgers, and it was a huge momentum shift, I think, for the Astros, and here's why. The Dodgers went to their bullpen really early in that game. Like, really early. And they had Rich Hill in the 5th inning. He went 4 2/3 innings, I believe, or he went something to like that. I don't remember what it was. But I know he was taken out a little early. He was taken out like around the 5th. And I questioned that move, just like I think a lot of people question that move around baseball. And the reason why is because he had to use Maeda. He had to use Morrow. He had to use Jensen that game, I believe, as well. And he had to use a lot of his key guys. And yet he didn't use Jensen in Game 3. He did use Jensen in Game 1, 2, 4, and today in Game 5. So Jensen's pitched in every game except for one. And Morrow, man, poor Brandon Morrow. Listen, if any Dodger fan wants to crap on Brandon Morrow today, don't. Brandon Morrow legit went to Dave Roberts and told Dave Roberts, listen, if you need me tonight, I'll give you what I can. After pitching almost every day. He's pitched 3 days in a row. He's pitched in games, I believe. He pitched in Game 1 and he pitched in Game 2. He didn't pitch in Game 2. He pitched in Game 1. He didn't pitch in Game 2. But he pitched in Games 3, 4, and he's pitching in Game 5. I mean, damn, that guy... I can't say anything else about Brandon Morrow. The fact that he told David Robertson he wanted the ball and that he wanted to be in that moment, even if he was tired, even if he didn't have his best stuff, credit to that man, and he doesn't deserve any blame for this. This falls on to me, Clayton Kershaw, and this falls to me on Kenley, and it falls on Kershaw in the sense that this was the game for Kershaw to finally cement his legacy. Now, I've been a huge guy and a huge proponent on I want to see Clayton Kershaw have postseason success. I want him to be able to shut up his haters. I want him to be able to show people what he's got. And tonight was the night to do that. He had a chance to pretty much replicate what he did in Game 1 and probably go even deeper into this game and get his team the lead in the series going 3-2 to LA. He did not do that. He had a 4-run lead, and when you have a 4-run lead with Clayton Kershaw on the mound in any game, whether it's a regular season game or a postseason, you want to feel confident. You want to feel that, you know what, you got this game. And I feel like the Dodgers and a lot of us thought that, you know what, yeah, that's the case. But man, he just struggled. He couldn't get out of that 4th inning. He caused guys like Maeda, who also pitched in Game 2, who wasn't as sharp as he was in Game 2, mainly because he's been taxed. Same thing with, like I said, Morrow. Same thing with Jensen. Those guys are tired, and Jensen's thrown a lot of innings this season. And on top of that, he threw a crap ton of innings in the championship series. He was going 2 innings. He was pitching the 8th and the 9th in the championship series. Then on top of that, you had him pitching a game yesterday in which he didn't need to pitch in. Why was Kenley Jensen pitching in that game last night with a 5-run lead? They won 6-2. They were up 6-1 in the 9th inning, and they still used Kenley. So I understand that this advanced analytics bullpenning is the key. That's the way of the future. Guys like Brian Kenny and guys like all these other advanced analytics type of guys like to, use this bullpenning thing as a way of the new game. But you still need elite starting pitching to win a postseason game. Bullpen doesn't just win you the World Series. It doesn't. You don't make it to the postseason mainly off of your bullpen. You have at least a number 1 and a number 2 that are going to take you at least to 90 wins or 95 wins or 100 wins like these two teams, which they had Keuchel and Verlander came in towards the end. And then for the Dodgers, Kershaw and Darvish, who he was a mid-season acquisition, but still, you have those type of guys coming into your rotation. They're guys that are great pitchers. They know what they need to do. Legitimate 1-2s in any rotation that you put them in. And that's what wins you a World Series. That's what won you regular season games. That's what's got you to the postseason. And that's what's going to win you a World Series. Now, and that's one of the reasons why I said the Astros had a chance in this series. When nobody else believed that the Astros could win this series, when everybody was saying, oh, the Dodgers have it, they're a complete team, they have rotation, they have pen, they have the lineup, they have the bench, I agreed. I agreed with everyone. But there's something about this Astros team. They have elite offense. They have good pitching. They don't have a pen. They don't have a bullpen. But they have elite starting pitching with Keuchel and Verlander. And I told you guys, if they could win 3 out of the 4 starts that the 1-2 punch are going to be pitching in, because they would be pitching in games 1 and 2, and then 5 and 6. If they could win 3 out of those 4, they have a shot to win the series. They've already won 2. They've already got the win from a random pitcher, which was the McCullers start, and now they're on pace to win with the formula that I just gave you guys. Now, has it been the way that I thought it was going to be? No, because Dallas Keuchel has not performed up to par. And what I mean by that is he hasn't looked the same since he got beat up a little bit in the Bronx. He struggled in that start. He struggled in game 1, and he struggled here again in game 5. Game 5. And that's a huge no-no. You can't have that, but they were able to win. And they still won, at least right now, 2 of the 4 starts that are going to happen between that 1-2 combination. Now, back to Kershaw, like I said, this was the start to cement his legacy. He didn't do it. If anybody's going to sit here and talk about Mad Bum isn't better than him, or Madison Bumgarner isn't a better pitcher than Clayton Kershaw, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you guys this. No, that's not true. If Mad Bum is pitching in the postseason right here, right now, I don't think that Madison Bumgarner is going to give up 6 runs and cause me to lose a huge game 5 going back home to LA or San Francisco, since he plays for San Francisco. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Bumgarner wouldn't show up, because Bumgarner's already proven that he can show up. Clayton Kershaw has not. So anybody that wants to continue that debate, I think that debate ends right here, right now. Simple as that. As for this bullpenning thing, they're done. Their bullpen is just so taxed. I don't see how they can recover from this. I'm not going to say that this series is over. I don't believe just because you have a 3-2 lead that this series is over. But I will say that in order for the Dodgers to win, they're going to need length out of their starting pitching. They have to. Doesn't matter if they have a day off tomorrow. They need that, period. The offense is going to show up. Guys like Taylor, he hit today. Bellinger hit. Corey Seager got a hit. Puig hit the home run, if I didn't mention Puig already. So these guys are hitting. They're scoring runs. And when the rotation and the bullpen has put them in a deficit where they needed to come back, the Dodgers have come back. Now, same with the Astros. But the Dodgers have shown that they can come back, that they're not going to give up offensively. It's whether their pitching can hold up. And David Robertson just might have cost himself this series by going to his bullpen that early in game 2. Like I said, yes, everybody's gassed, everybody's tired, everybody's this and that going into the World Series. It's true. I agree with that. But Kenley Jensen didn't need to be used yesterday for a game that didn't call for a save. He didn't. And neither did Morrow, at least tonight. He didn't need to be in this game tonight. You have to find a different way. Whether that's extending Watson, whether that's extending Zingrani, which he came in a little too late. But you have to figure something out. Obviously, you're not going to waver from the plan. If you're the Dodgers, you're going to go to that bullpen if you have the lead in the late innings and you got, 6 or 7 innings out of your starter. Yes, I agree with that. But the thing is that, are they tired at this point? Are they legit just so gassed that this is it? That they can't go anymore? And especially Kenley, because Kenley has gotten hit. Now I said, I know in my last video I said I wasn't worried. But this game had me concerned. He didn't seem to have his stuff. He looked a little erratic to me. I don't know for you guys. Some people may say, no, he didn't. He looked good. To me, he didn't look like Kenley Jansen. He didn't look like the Kenley Jansen I've seen all season. He looked a little tired. His cutter wasn't really cutting to me. I didn't see the movement on it really that I wanted to see out of it. And right before that Bregman at bat, I was going to tweet out. And lo and behold, Bregman, before I could even tweet it out, got the base hit. I said, this Bregman at bat, if I'm Kenley Jansen, scares me. Because it does. Because he couldn't get Bregman out. He couldn't get any of the other guys out before him. And Bregman's swinging a hot bat. And like I said, the huge key is depth. If they can get some depth out of their starting rotation, if they can get 6-7 innings and not have to tax their bullpen, that's better than nothing. It is better than nothing. And of course, they don't. So this hurt them personally. Like I said, offensively, these guys were going crazy. Altuve hit that game-tying home run after Bellinger, I believe, put them ahead with his 3-run shot, which was, my God, when you think that Bellinger hits that 3-run shot and it's 7-4, you're thinking, all right, you know what? Maybe this bullpen will be able to close it. But then Maeda just comes right back in that next inning. He gives up a home run to Altuve. Then Bellinger pretty much triples, and that scored in Kike Hernandez, and that was the play where Springer had messed up. And then right back in that bottom of the 7th inning, I'm sorry, I said it was the 8th inning, it was the 7th inning. And that 7th inning, he hit a huge home run to tie the game. Then Altuve doubled to score Bregman, and then Correa hit a huge home run that brought it to 11-8, and you just see him, he was hyped, he was jumping around. It was crazy. And me personally, I was like, this game isn't over. You know that the Dodgers were going to come back. They don't have the pen as well. Harris gave up a double to Seager, and then you're like, all right, here comes the Dodgers offense. They're coming back, even though they didn't score in that 8th inning, and McCann did hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that top of the 9th inning, even with one out, Puig got a huge home run with Bellinger on base. Taylor got that huge single up the middle. And, we were going to extras, and when we went to extras with Jensen still pitching, Bregman single to left, and that scored Fisher, and they won the game. And like I said, this bullpen is just taxed, I think. I think that Jensen is completely tired now. I think that having him pitch those, the 8th and 9th inning in the ALCS as many times as he did, then having him pitch games 1, 2, 4, and today game 5, it's just taxed him. I think he's tired. I legit think that Kenley Jansen is tired. He's probably already been tired, but I just think that his arm is dead now. I think that maybe he has some bit of that, that velocity, that movement left, but it's probably very little at this point. And it looks really bad here for the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are looking like the Astros from last week. The Astros couldn't put New York away with that bullpen for their life. And now it's the Astros putting them away with their bullpen, getting some clutch, pretty much getting some clutch bullpen help. Davinsky gave up the lead, but you look at some of the guys that came out of the Astros pen. And before I go, I do want to mention the Astros pen. If you look at the Astros pen and the guys that came out of Houston's pen that were decent, even though Peacock struggled a bit, Peacock did give them 2 innings. Harris gave them 2 innings, even though he did give up a run. Davinsky got 1 guy out, which is what he needed to do in the 9th inning. And then Musgrove came in, and Musgrove did kind of what he needed to do, but still was able to get the win. So they got what they needed out of the pen. They got enough from the pen. They didn't use Giles. Will we see Giles again in this series? I believe so. I believe we will see Giles maybe in the 7th or 8th inning. I think Davinsky's going to close this game out. But they got what they needed out of their bullpen. They got just enough. Verlander can go 7. Verlander can go 8. And I best and believe Verlander will go 7 or 8 innings, in my opinion. I don't think Verlander's going to look at this game, especially a game where he knows he can close it out for his team and not do it. He's going to get the job done, I believe. He's going to give them 7 8 innings. It's whether the Dodgers will be able to at least score or keep the game close for them to win that game. Because if they don't keep it close and the Astros just go off offensively, the World Series might be over on Tuesday night with the Dodgers being pretty much eliminated or taken out in their home field. So it's just a scary, daunting task. If you're the Dodgers, you just gotta go in. You gotta be confident. You gotta stay with Rich Hill. I know if Rich Hill struggles early on, Dave Robertson's gonna want to take him out. But this pen is just, I don't trust this bullpen right now. They just look tired. I have to go and hope that he'll give me 6 or 7 innings. I have to hope that in Game 7, whoever I pitch in Game 7 can give me at least maybe 4 to 5 innings, and then I piece it with my bullpen, because both teams are going to do that in Game 7, if there is a Game 7, obviously. And that's really it. I mean, that's the key. That's the key for the Dodgers right now, is just pitching. And as for Houston, we know that they're going to hit now. We know that they're not going to be shut down. We know that they're not going to be stopped offensively. I kept telling you guys that you can't keep this Astros team down for long. They're eventually going to score. I kept saying that throughout the Yankee series. The Yankees proved me wrong, at least in that series, up until Game 6 and 7. But they've shown it here in this World Series. Other than Game 1, they fought back in Game 2. They fought back in Game 3. They fought back in Game 4. They fought back a little bit in Game 5. Which, I mean, not a little bit. They fought back crazy in Game 5. And they just didn't give up. And like I said, even if they didn't score that many runs in Game 4, they still scored 2 runs. And they showed that they still had life in them. They still got a home run off of Kenley Jansen in the 9th inning as well. And then in Game 3, they scored 5 runs. So they're going to score their runs. We know they're going to score their runs. That's guaranteed. That's granted now. It's just whether the Dodgers are going to be able to stop them with the bullpen and with the rotation. And can the Dodgers get those timely hits that the Astros have gotten? And that's pretty much it. So if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about this game. And do you guys still believe that the Dodgers will be able to come back and close this series out in 7 games like I had predicted? I still believe that the Dodgers will do it. I just think it's going to be really hard for the Dodgers to do it. And if the Dodgers are going to do it, they're going to have to pretty much, like I said, they're going to have to keep the game close. Or they're going to have to try to score early and hope that they can get a decent start from Hill and go to somebody in this pen that can give them some innings and just give them something. And we'll see what can happen, because anything can happen in Game 7. And if you are new, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. And before I go, actually, I can't wait for this World Series to be over, because I can't wait to do my top 5 World Series games of all time. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys in the next video, which will be Game 6 of the freaking World Series, which is, that game's going to be crazy. Later, guys.